Hey, Laura J here for another day. And it's been an interesting 24 hours. And I am very, very, very grateful that this month I've been really cleaning up my act, and I have been using the head, heart, and hand decrees daily and really supporting myself, because we are literally in a spiritual war. And the dark side show up as ones that you know, and they will do their very best to take you out. And in fact, last night I got a call from a person I used to really respect, and this person was the same one who, when I had went to them for a treatment, I had basically had an experience with a friend at the time who had been embarrassed that we showed up at a buck and doe and I wanted to dance and the dance floor wasn't started, so I went and started it. And then everybody else was grateful that somebody started it, and then they all took over, and I went back to where my friend and her friend that she had held there captive were sat. And she basically said, "You're humiliating." And I was just like, oh, like, I didn't understand that was humiliating. I was just having fun. And so I had this person for a treatment after, and I really respected their opinion. And so I basically shared this story, and I was told that sometimes you just need to tone it down in order to make other people comfortable. And in that moment, it was the first time in my life, because this person had been a spiritual mentor and guide for me since I was 13, when my dad had first started exploring spirituality and was part of a group that he would come home and share some of the spiritual insights, and they just fed my hungry soul because I was desperately searching the sacred without knowing where to look. And it was so fascinating to me because in that moment, I realized that I went to this person to heal me and treat me, and they liked it. And they also extended their bounds in terms of their expertise. And so oftentimes that's what we do, because no one is an expert at everything. And we all have an ego, and we are all insecure in some ways until we have shone light on those shadow aspects. And it was a really fascinating experience for me, because I was in my early 20s, and basically it was like one of those head shake moments of what? And then the relating of, I've always been told that I'm too much too, but you just have to sometimes tone it down to make other people comfortable. And that's what we're culturally experiencing right now, and it's not working. And it might seem to be working, at least moderately, and if it's not broken, don't fix it, maybe, is the adage that we've been told to just go by and go with and let that be enough. But there's just a huge part of me that recalls that story, because it was not what I was being given by higher guidance. I was being given that by the human sat in front of me. And so it was the first time in my life that I had experienced the differentiation, not because anyone told me, but because I felt it. And I didn't respect the advice that was given to me, and I knew that it was being given by the person in front of me, not the higher self that I respected the guidance and channelings that I had received so often from, because I really put my power in that person's hands. And last night would have been an attack had I been able to connect. But basically, the phone, when I tried calling back, or they tried calling me, was silent. It was fascinating. And then I basically knew the intention wasn't good, but wondered. So I texted and asked, "Are you projecting venom at me? Or if so, I'm being protected, and if not, then there's interference. And what would your intention be?" And no response. So it was an attack. And I literally was prevented from it. And what's so fascinating is that on my mirror, when I got this call and then went to chat with my papa and just say, what's going on? And then figured out what the situation was and was preparing myself. I went to the bathroom and then I was in the mirror and I looked and I had 2 post-its on the mirror. One was the Archangel Michael decree and the other was the Tube of Light decree. And I just held my hands in prayer position and did a few Archangel Michael decrees, and the phone would ring and then it would be caught and then blank. And then I'd try calling back and blank. And so that happened 6 times, and then that text exchange took place. And I was just so grateful to be protected and say that literally at 5:55 in the video. So that even too is Archangel Michael's number. So truly, thank you. And so there we go, is the story of this morning, that is simply to say no one is an expert in everything. And when you get advice that doesn't feel right, that's resonance, vibrational resonance. And if you think about a chart on a scale of 0 to 10, and you have advice coming in at a level 5 and you're higher than that, you're not going to resonate with it unless you're at a 5. If the advice is at an 8 and you're not at an 8, you can't reach that. So it's not going to resonate. We receive what resonates based on where we are, and truth is ever present. So we feel truth, and that's what we have to really remind ourselves how to feel. And so if you're available tomorrow, which is Saturday, at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Michael Seekers and I will be hosting a call where those who are soulful seekers are welcome to come, and you have to be on camera and be willing to show your face and contribute or share, because this is an active participation activity. And this is not where we're hosting so that somebody can come in and be a spectator. So if you want to be on the call, you will be seen, and it will be posted to YouTube after for the benefit of others. And so I say that, you know what, no, it's not going to be posted afterwards. This call is just going to, it will be recorded, but it's not going to be posted, because ultimately there will be gold that is shared, but not everyone needs to be seen on it, but you have to be willing to show yourself to make others comfortable, which was something that we experienced last night with the Lawfully Organized Summit that we hosted. And so that was another brilliant, insightful lesson that I experienced the necessity because of what I felt, and maybe others on the call did too, but when someone showed up with a black screen and on mute and weren't contributing, I basically did the countdown for them to either reveal themselves and participate or get off the call, because it's not about being a voyeur. We are here to actively participate, and if you want to be in the room, get in the room. So that's a little stern maybe, but you know, I'm not going to be for everyone. Just like I was told all those years ago, tone yourself down. No, you don't need to either. And you've got permission to be you fully, even if it makes other people who are at a lower level uncomfortable. And so on this note, I'm going to get into a decree practice for my own self. And if you want to be part of that experience for your own self, we can arrange something, but certainly gaining access to the decrees. Saturday night at 7 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, the Shambhala Temple of Light does the beginners broadcast where we go through the head, heart, and hand decrees I'm going to be doing, and then we also go into there's a dictation that is given by Mark Prophet or Elizabeth Clare Prophet, who are founders of the Summit Lighthouse, who are the top essentially and offered a load of resources working with the Ascended Masters, and the Shambhala Temple of Light, which Michael Seegers founded in 2007, that is kind of based off of the materials there and his own studies of over 40 years. So he's an amazing resource. He's going to be teaching the morning class with me at 10 o'clock tomorrow, helping soulful seekers create a sacred practice that will support and honor you. And then at 7 o'clock, if you want to get in on some decrees and be part of a community, then you've got the opportunity to join in there as well. And I very much look forward to sharing that experience with you and wish you a wonderful day. Hope that this meant something to you. Would love to know what it was. Comment below. And please do like this message. Share it with a friend that needs to know that their too muchness for someone is more than enough for someone else, and they don't need to tone themselves down so long as their too muchness is not for the sake of overshadowing anyone else, because that is not too much. That's just competition. And yes, too much and competition are aligned per se, but it's not that your energy needs to be overwhelming to anyone else. And yes, it will make others uncomfortable, but then it's just about choosing to surround yourself not with people who tolerate you, but people who appreciate you. So I send love and look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Toodaloo. Lorjai. Namaste. Namago.